Brad Ray versus Lyndon Arthur. Why did you want this fight?
Well, I wanted it for a few reasons, to be fair. I think out of all the opponents, it was the one that was going to kind of put me in the public eye the most because of where Lyndon's been, because it's an all Manchester thing, because, you know, you've got the football aspect, so there's going to be eyes on it, which you wouldn't usually be on it. So I think, you know, that's the stage of my career I'm at now. I want to start building a big fan base, and I want Queensberry and I want Frank to look at me like someone who can start headlining shows in Manchester. And I feel like this is the perfect fight for this. Also, he's a United fan. He's a Red man. That's why I wanted to fight. That is the main reason. But yeah, no, it's a great fight, and it's one I'm looking forward to.
He's got a nice blue belt, what we call a European title in boxing, and I want it.
Lyndon, your opponent, what do you make of him?
I like Lyndon. Look, me and Lyndon get on. We always have done. Known him for a long time, known him for years. It's nothing personal, no beef, no bad blood, but on Saturday night, you know, I've got a job to do, and if I can knock him out, I'll knock him out. And you know what I mean? For them 12 rounds, I'll have no emotion. It won't do anything to me, you know, it's nothing. And then I'm quite a nice guy afterwards. I might feel a little bit guilty, or I might feel a little bit bad, but you know, that's just the way it is. You've got to be able to flick the switch in this game. And for them 12 rounds, I'll flick the switch, ready to go to war, ready to do what I have to do. And then, you know, afterwards we can handshake, hug, be friends again. But, you know, for now, he's in my way.
Good. He has to get my respect because he's won a European title, and you don't get gifted them for free. He's worked hard and he's got himself into this level as being European champion. And, you know, we're both from Manchester, and he's going to show out because it's a Manchester crowd, it's a Manchester fight. But I've not boxed here in 6 years, and I've still got years left in me, so I'm excited for this fight on Saturday.
It's well known that you did spar quite a lot. How many rounds did you actually spar together?
No, we've done loads. We've done loads right down from when I was 21, middleweight. You know what I mean? Right up to before the Bivol fight. And you know, like, but for me, sparring, you can't really go off sparring. I know Lyndon is a different fighter on fight night, so none of the spars mean anything, but I'm a different fighter on fight night as well. And you know, I feel like we're going to get the best version of each other. Like you say, you know, we've both got a lot to lose, so it's going to make it for a great fight.
You're probably sick of the sparring chat now, but how long were you sparring together for? How many rounds did you speak?
I bet we've had many rounds. But I believe he's took confidence from the fact that the last spar we had was when I was unfit, couldn't walk, and just come back from Amsterdam. And he might have got the better of it. I believe that's where he took confidence from. If that's what it is, then fair play to you.
There's been spars where Lyndon's probably jabbed my head off for 6th round, and there's been spars where, you know, I've got the upper hand, and then there's been spars where 50-50 spars. You know what I mean? It means nothing because you're at different stages of the camp, you know what I mean? I'm fat, probably, you know, I've probably had a beer at the weekend or something, you know, like, sparring means nothing because you all we both had 12, 13 week camp, so this is going to be the best version. You know, the versions of each other that we've seen in sparring is going to be totally different.
What would you say his biggest strength is?
Biggest strength?
He's relentless, and he's very resilient. He doesn't like to give up, and he's tough.
It's got to be his jab. It's got to be. I wanted to kind of be out of the box and come with something else, but look, he's got an unbelievable jab. He's got one of the best jabs in the game, and you know, it's an obstacle that I've got to try and overcome. But I've been boxing since I was 10 years old. You know what I mean? If I can't defend the jab, then I don't think I'm doing what I think I'm going to do in the sport. So, you know, I should be able to kind of take that away from him.
What would you say his biggest weakness is?
I don't know. I'll find out on Saturday.
Biggest weakness? I do think he's half overlooking me. I do. I think he's thinking, I've been in there at this level, you know what I mean? I've competed at this level. And like I say, look, he's known me a long time. He's known me when I was a little kid, and maybe he's not meant to do it, but I think he still sees me as that little kid that used to come sparring. I'm not that kid anymore. You know, I'm a different fighter, and I think deep down he knows that. But I think it's hard for him to kind of, you know, come to terms with, you know, he's still thinking of me as that little kid.
You're crossing paths in different times in your career. Who would you say has more to lose in this fight?
Well, he's got the belt, so him. He loses a belt. I lose a fight.
Well, I think me, because I'm the champion. You know, it's my title that I can lose. You know, what's he got? He's got everything to gain. He's got a title to gain. He's got his career to get back on track. Whereas me, you know, I've been down in the mud for 2 years, and a loss here could put me back there. And you know, I'm not willing to do that. I can't do another 2 years like he had. So I think I've got more to lose, and that's why it means so much, and that's why I've trained so hard, and that's why I'm going to get the job done on Saturday.
You mentioned earlier, bragging rights were at stake. What colour is Manchester?
Red. Silly question.
Yeah, Manchester's blue. I was going to say it always has been and it always will be, but it hasn't always has been. It definitely hasn't. But the tide's changed in recent years, you know. City run Manchester, and like I say, look, City running Manchester now. I'm not that little kid anymore. The tide's changed, and yeah, look, it's going to be the blue flag flying Saturday night.
And who is Manchester's best light heavyweight?
Me. That's an easy one.
Lyndon Arthur.
Lastly, how will the fight end on Saturday?
A victorious one for Lyndon.
I'm going to go out there and say I'm going to get him out there. I'm going to go on record and say it. And yeah, look, I didn't do it last time out. Bibble didn't do it. If I can do that, it's a big statement. And look, I try and win every fight inside the distance, because it's what the fans want to see at the end of the day. So yeah, that's what I'm going for.
Whatever it is that happens in that ring, I'll show up and I'll come out on top.
I feel like people have not even seen 30% of me.
They know what to expect. You know what to expect.
They get much bigger in this, does it?